Cool. Thank you all for waiting. We are back at it, having just changed the timeline with a bullet, which is not a metaphor that I'm entirely thrilled with, but I'll take it. Whatever. You use what you got, use the tools that you have. I made the damn kill you in the past pistol thing up, so it's not just your fault, it's on me, but I'm just saying,
if I got a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
I know if I was reading this science fiction novel, I'd be like, really guys, a bullet, really? Like, I'm just saying that would be a critique, it would be in my review, I'd be criticizing it, and that's all right. We're clearly not writing a novel, and that's fine. I love that you did it, and I love that there's this weird time change. I did not see that coming at all. So great. I think the air smells different. It doesn't smell like a tomb world. It doesn't smell like it doesn't smell like a tomb. It is suddenly. Smells like an industrial, air in a futuristic industrial city, and it's not terrible. Chief Nikoyo walks out. She's an older woman, and she's got a cane because she had a bullet in her leg apparently. She says, "You must be the sharpshooter who put this back, who gave me this." And I think she tosses you the bullet, bro.
I look it over and then I toss it to Abby because Abby's worked more with this alien tech than I have.
Yeah.
Are the alien things still around? Or did they disappear completely?
They're gone. Yeah. Okay. Totally.
Yeah, because I think that's what I'm looking for is where are those things, right?
Yeah. She, Nikoyo, notices you, looking for enemy combatants.
Right.
He says, "Come on in. Let's get some lunch in you, and you can tell me what this looked like from your point of view, and I can tell you what it looked like from mine."
That sounds amazing.
My name is Nikoyo Stepol. I am the sector chief of the perimeter agency of Sector Alas Theta. And
we have her badge, right? When we came down?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So she's saying that, and if I have the badge, I'm checking to see if there are any differences between what she's saying and what's on the badge.
Right.
And the sector name and designation and stuff. Did any of that stuff change?
Yeah, no.
Right?
Yeah, it doesn't appear to have. That's good thinking, though. Yeah.
So it's a 30-year-old badge at this 40-year-old badge.
Yeah. But it's also that badge is it's
right.
covered in dust, right? It's
right.
It's a little melted and it's covered in dust from where the kind of ceiling collapsed and chips of stuff fell on her. And yeah, I mean, it's a badge that lived through an apocalypse that never happened.
So I hand it to her and I say, I probably haven't been hanging on to this for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes ago.
So from our point of view, there were these beings? Yeah, let's go with beings. That were not quite here now, but also were here then, and are going to be here soon, all at the same time. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy. Trust me, I if somebody was telling me this, I wouldn't believe it either. But anywho,
I obviously believed you. I read the bullet, and we're here.
but we fired it like 5 minutes ago, and in a room where your body was, and then everything came alive, and it's a little disconcerting and confusing. I'm sure you can understand. And
30 years ago, I was given the honor of being the sector chief for the perimeter agency. A few days after that, my leg started to hurt. We couldn't figure it out. And I went to the doctor, and there was a bullet in my leg, right next to the bone, right next to the fibia. And I had the bullet removed, and now that I was the sector chief, I could do some research on it. We found that the casing was from Terran Mandate metal, and that there was data inside. And I got your warning about the Xenos.
oh, is that what we're calling them? Okay.
Xenos.
And I got your warning about the artificial intelligence destroying this planet.
Good.
And so we took precautions. And you saved a world.
Did the Xenos ever make an appearance?
When we stopped the AI from destroying this world, it was a little difficult getting traction on a sector-wide scale. But when your first prediction came true, we started looking into the others. And we found that there have been people in this sector who have taken themselves out of time to try to fight these aliens for some time. But they weren't enough, and they were failing. And the gate they were using was the black hole, RJ35. You also gave us, well, did you give them the location and like the contact info for the ship that dropped you here? Was that part of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I would have wanted them to like turn around and come back or something.
Yeah. I contacted your ship. They're very confused.
I can imagine.
They don't understand how we got their contact protocols. They don't understand any of this. I've exchanged a few messages with them, but they wanted codes that I didn't have. So if you want to send them a type beam message, I can get you that.
That sounds like something we should probably do.
Thank you for saving my life, and thank you for saving this planet.
You're very welcome. Sorry about the leg.
It really only started. I don't want to be dramatic. It really only started bothering me in the last year. When it gets chilly, it starts to vex me. Changing of the seasons. Escape velocity, anything where the barometric pressure changes a lot.
My grandpa had a elbow like that. He cracked it when he was a kid, and it was never quite right. But he could always tell when it was going to rain.
How? What did this planet look like to you?
Barren, pretty dry and desert-like and uninhabited.
And she takes like another file, like she's clearly has like a file of like questions to ask these time travelers when they show up, right?
When they show up.
And she's had decades to think about this shit.
So actually, before she does it, I do. Is Marie still around?
Marie is in orbit. Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Marie, can you hear us?
Yes.
What do your logs indicate about how we got here?
I believe my logs are accurate. We have records of Stepoli being, or Stepol being a tomb world, and full records of your first drop and finding the hive mind.
Excellent.
All right. Yes.
That's what I need to know.
Right. Cool.
Yes. And I think like, yeah. We can look at it later, like why no one has noticed you over these past weeks. But yeah.
Yeah, I will have Marie send that data to Nicoyo if they want, so that they can see this is what we saw, kind of thing.
Right. When we got here. Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely eats that up and says, so this is what happened to where is it? Special Agent Sulia.
Yes.
He disappears off of our records at about the time of the attack.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody have any idea, any clue what the Xenos wanted? Why they were invading? What that was about?
We're not sure about the whys just at the moment. We know that we seem to have stopped. We seem to have stopped the incursion at the moment, and we're in a position where we can send diplomats into the gate and start discussions from a more even keel.
Good.
Do you mind if I, and I think like she gestures towards the pistol. the agency would like that.
I give it to Abby.
Oh
Nice.
man, butthead.
I'm like,
Shit rolls
well, it was
downhill.
never assigned. Yeah, it was never assigned to me. So,
Wasn't assigned to me either.
but you came down with it, so and you're in charge.
I think, yeah. Nicoyo looks at you and says, "It's up to you, Envoy Duster."
What is the Envoy relationship with the Perimeter Agency like?
Yeah, that's a damn good question. In a perfect world, right? The Perimeter Agency would be like there to welcome you as you got out of the ship and be like, "Welcome to the sector. Here's everything here are all the cases we're working on." But more often than not, it's like, "Why are you here? We are totally, subjugated by an AI and we don't know it." Like, it's just like they're usually a hot mess. But
Got it.
in a perfect world, yeah, it would be great.
So I probably wouldn't trust them with this kind of thing. It would not be odd for me not to trust them with this kind of thing.
It would not be odd. No.
Okay.
I don't think it would be odd.
Okay, that's what I was like. I'm going to hold on to this until I get word from the Terran Mandate what they would like me to do with it.
And I ask, is that the only one? Did you not get any between from here back?
We have looked into the alien relics pretty aggressively, but I'd like the gun that shot me and saved this planet, and maybe and saved the sector, if nothing else, for history.
It will be preserved. I am not ready to quite just turn it over yet, though.
May I ask what the content of your report will be to your ship when it arrives?
The truth is, I know it. We sent a message, and you were able to receive that message and take care of the problem.
Sounds fair. I will set you up with that tight beam to your ship so that you can talk to your command chain. And I think like the tight beam room is like a room where your hologram will be projected to the ship, and the hologram of the captain will be projected to you.
Nice.
I am trying to find the damn name of the ship, and I
Ours?
cannot.
Or the one we came in?
The one you came in. I cannot find it anywhere. It has been forever. I am frustrated because my notes for this game were at an all-time low of terrible. Like, I'm used to my notes being bad, but this was like a new depth of shitty note-taking for Judd. I have not been able to find a name for anything. Like Lieutenant Suliat, maybe that's the name of the guy. Maybe that's somebody else. Who knows?
Look, the entirety of my notes were Lohikau, maybe something else, has ruins, Alsif, frozen desert, Viaton, Banana Republic, Ingrid, no strangers allowed, Loria, beacon, Stoppel, perimeter agency tomb. So that's all the notes I got.
Got it. Cool. Yeah, I think we agreed that. Hold on. Captain of the battle cruiser that dropped you off here was, you know, that captain would be played by Nichelle Nichols. I think like that we had that much we had. So yeah. So I'm just gonna call her Captain Nichols. I don't think that was her original name, but we're just gonna go with it. And
that's right, it works.
Yeah, it works. and the ship, I don't remember exactly what the ship was named. But I like naming those Terra Mandate ships after something. Oh, you know what? Was it what is the deep trench? The Marinaris Trench.
Right.
That sounds familiar.
So I believe it is the TMB, the Terran Battle Cruiser Marinaris, Captain Nichols, and yeah, her hologram, pops up when the tight beam makes contact with the ship, and she says, "How the hell did that backwater perimeter agency get hold of our tight beam codes?"
I don't know, ma'am. I legitimately don't know, ma'am.
Yeah, I mean, well, they didn't have the codes, but I was under the impression that you gave them contact info for the ship.
Oh, yes.
So that they can contact it. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. That's what she was asking.
Okay.
Like, how did they get our tight beam coordinates? I guess is what. Yeah.
We asked them to send you a message, ma'am.
The message made no damn sense. It said that the whole sector was under siege, and I really don't understand what's going on over there. Are you all right?
Yes. Surprisingly, we're not. I think we're all right. It's confusing on the best of terms. And she proceeds to give her a rundown on what happened.
Yeah, I think you get to the end, and she kind of shakes her head and says, "Fucking time travel?"
Yes, ma'am.
Can you move people through?
No, ma'am.
Just information?
So we have a gun. That's all we can really do. So it has to be gun size or bullet size or smaller at the moment. I mean, I'm sure that there's bigger chunks of this material around that could be theoretically attached to other things, but I don't have them, so I don't want to speculate as to what can and cannot be done. Although the things that we thought were going to be attacking the sector seem to have a lot bigger capabilities than we do. So I don't know if they were a problem in the past or if they're going to be a problem in the future or what. Because time travel.
But you changed the history of that sector and what we know of that sector with a pistol, with a jury-rigged piece of alien tech on it.
Yes, ma'am.
If we took some time and made an actual communication device, we could stop the fracturing of the Terran Mandate and stop the scream before it happened. Ro is like, oh no. Does that sound possible, Envoy?
I am not a scientist, ma'am. I could not tell you. I don't know how far back this can go. So maybe is my best answer.
When they sent that message to us, we were confused. They were sending it to us from a planet that was supposed to be a tomb world. It didn't make a lot of sense. We'll be there inside of a week. I would like you to gather the planetary diplomats and all of the scientists who have worked with this tech on temporal anomalies.
So the only scientists that I know that have worked on this are part of the Aegean Circle.
Yeah, and I think they
tried to shoot me with it. So
well, the next time you talk to the Aegean Circle, you're going to have a squadron of Terran Mandate Marines at your back. I think it'll be a little different next time. Let them know that.
With pleasure.
We'll see you in a week.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
And she her hologram fizzles out. And yeah, I think I'm kind of happy ending there. Like I feel like
I don't want to try to like rein through. Can we actually end the scream? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh no, we're definitely not going to do that. So I know that like someone else is going to GM for a while, and then like I think we're all going to take turns GMing is what's going to end up happening. But if in that cycle we come back to me and we still want to play this game, I think we can come back to an interesting point where where you're dealing with these temporal scientists and you can play these characters or going through time, or we can play a couple of scientists, or we can play like there's a lot of different things I think we could play, or we could pick up these characters again and see like where they're at, and do a totally different sector or whatever. Maybe the mandate has been totally back together, but certain sectors didn't get the message for some reason, and whatever. Like I think there's a lot of cool things we could do, but I kind of like ending it at this weird. I like it. I don't know. It's it's a weird, uncertain point. I think you did some really interesting. You did a bunch of
it
cool
feels
shit.
like on the one hand you wrapped up a one part, but you left a lot of questions.
Yeah. I'm into it. And I didn't know what this game is not made for, like temporal like stuff. No game. Very few games are, right? Maybe Time and Temp by Epidiah Ravachol, but I don't know. I liked how weird it got. I think that's how weird time travel should get. So good stuff and cool. Awesome. Awesome. Anything, do you all want to talk about anything you're working on, or do we want to talk about kind of post-game things you liked, things you didn't like, things you would like to do better? Was there anything you would change if you could go back? I don't know. How wrapped up are we? Do we want to? That's my question, I guess, that I'm asking myself and you as we
I'm
end
good
this thing.
with some post game talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made this sector as small as I could make a sector on Sectors Without Number, and it was still too damn big. I would have just made 3 planets if I could go back, and I would have had like, you know, the black hole a bit off, and maybe like 2 or 3 factions, and that is it. Because what I ended up doing is having like 6 factions and way too many planets to remember, and it all just kind of faded in together, and it was like even making like and honestly, when you look at the book, that's what it says to do. It says make up a couple planets and then build out from there as you need. And yeah, it turns out you should read the book and play by the rules sometimes. But it's really seductive to just hit that make a sector button on Sectors Without Number, and just be like, what do I got? And then start making stuff. And yeah, so anyway, that's my thought on going back, is I would have made it much smaller and just given you a lot less to chew on in 3 games. Because as it is, it all felt like kind of a sci-fi colored blur instead of really clear places with clear names and clear personalities. So that's my thought. How about you, the Jay and Misha? What are you all thinking?
I kind of agree. Yeah, it was a little sci-fi colored blur, but it was a fun sci-fi colored blur. So
cool.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Like I know we didn't get to all the planets, which is cool.
Yeah,
that's fine. The completionist part of my brain is like dying a little inside. But...
Yeah.
But we never got to. But other than that, yeah, it was fun.
Cool.
I think I hit the same realization as you when I ran Stars Without Numbers. It made me think, in the book he says that, but then someone comes along and they make that tool so you could make a bunch in mass, right?
Right.
And why would you not, right? I just hit that button and do it all, right? But if that tool never existed, I would not run through and make even 5 like a 5x5. I wouldn't do it, right? No. I would do 1, right? And I would build out where we're starting from, and the rest as we need it. But because someone made an automation, right? Not saying they shouldn't, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll eat the whole thing, bring it all in, right?
Yeah.
So, I think you go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, I think you did a fantastic, awesome job making things episodic, which I liked. I'll do a post about that later because it made me think about some game things differently. It's easy for us to pick up the minute we left off from the last session.
Right.
And it felt different, nice. I liked it, that it was very hardly framed from one session to the next session. But you allow some space for like Roe or Duster to go back and pick some things that they were interested in from the previous session and move that forward if they wanted to, right? And that was nice. But having to actually do all that stuff, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
Awesome. Yeah, I overdid it. I mean, I've got silly ass. Every faction has like a thing. Like, it was just too much. I overdid it. Like, this is all.
It was fun to watch you creating it from
yes.
Like I remember when you were putting it, you were posting about it on Twitter and stuff. It was like, this is another faction. And it was like, this is cool. And so like it felt like a fully realized world. It was just too much for 3 sessions.
Yeah. No, it was too much. I think if we had played 36 sessions, it might have started to feel like a fully realized world. And I'm not saying like, woe's me, we didn't do that, because I'm glad we're not doing that, because I'd rather get onto other games, and I'd rather play. I'm excited to play with Misha. I'm excited to to play with Jay. I'm excited to play in games that both of you are GMing. One or the other GMing, and that's exciting. But yeah, I overdid it. But it's not what my 40-something-year-old wisdom has brought to me is that when I do overdo it, it is using skills that I'm excited to use and excited to hone. So, like, yes, I overdid it, but no, it's not like, oh, my players didn't get to my story. It's like, oh, well, now I have half a dozen science fiction logos ready to roll, and I'm sure I'll use those either in other things or come back to this sector and use it for something else.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's cool. So I think the trick with doing a lot of GM prep is like do something that you will enjoy and get something out of.
Yeah.
And yeah, I definitely got that. So
yeah, it didn't feel like a railroad or anything. So
cool. Yeah. No, I know. But but it's like it's cousins to the GM with an abominable amount of 3-ring binders.
Yes.
And you're like, it's not that, but it's cousins to that. Like it's close enough related to that I'm deeply uncomfortable with it. And I can see that place from where I am. Like I could definitely yeah, it's close. It's closer than I want to be. And I really like doing like the prep that I need to do, and that's it. And you make stuff that we're actually going to use. And the other problem is I literally made so much that you can see it in the YouTube videos. I can't access it. It's just a lot of paper flipping and like, what's this, what's that? And if I had 3 planets, it would be an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper with the planets and the factions and the NPCs. It would all be in one place. It would have been easy to find, and it would have actually made more sense. And our NPCs would have had a lot more personality and a lot more, sense of space. And yeah, so it's not cool. Like you can make this big world and like, oh, is it? Yeah, there's this big world, but it's so big that it's unorganized and Judd can't access it at all. So yeah, it was good. I learned a lot of good lessons, and I will, if I ever play Stars Without Number again, or we decide to do a different sector, then I'll do a real, 3 planets, and a real, pregnant situation and go. So yeah, I think that's totally cool. I've learned my lesson, and that's good. And that is good. Do we have any idea what we're playing next? Did we decide that? Is that just going to be an off-stream conversation?
I think we had several options. I don't know if we actually picked one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
don't think we picked anything. Yeah.
Cool. We'll talk about that off stream then. I don't want to put pressure on anybody to jump up and say, I'm running this. Cool. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, everybody. I appreciate it. And thank you for, it could very well be that we will, in a couple months see Abby Duster and Agent Rowe again. I would, Envoy Rowe and Envoy Abby. I'm curious to kind of see more of them in a way. So I'd love to. Yeah, we'll see. I think that's an interesting idea. I learned a lot from this, and I'm interested in those characters. I like the decisions they made. I thought Jay and Misha did interesting stuff. So cool. Thank you for joining us and for watching this thing. My name is Judd. If I will put my links and everybody else's links in the chat, just in case that's a thing you are interested in looking at. And I would say the link to look at for me this month is I just put out a PDF on the Dungeon Masters Guild called The Silver Swords of the Lich Queen. And whenever I put something out on the Dungeon Masters Guild, it's because I want to play with some piece of Wizards of the Coast intellectual property that I otherwise wouldn't be able to touch. So I made a bunch of inspirational tables for Githyanki Invasion because they are my favorite. And so you can go check that out. It's in my links, which should be in the show notes if you're watching this on YouTube, and it's in the it's in the chat. If you are here right now. And Jay, you want to talk about anything that you're making or doing or?
I'm I'm still working on my Kickstarter, Lifted. It's my supers setting about uplifted humans.
Cool.
And the world that's trying to snuff them out. Most of those games are up and running. We're wrapping up session zeros, and that zine will go out in August. I'm pretty much on track for that. As soon as we run through all those sessions, so I'm
Awesome.
hard at work on that right now.
Cool, love it. Misha, you got anything cooking or cooked or baked or whatever designed?
It's available PDF, so you can go find it.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yes.
And we've got it sent to the printers, so hopefully we'll have that back to the printers. Yay. Like 6 to 8 weeks, we'll see. Because who knows? Printing, fun.
Okay.
And then finishing up some
fun.
other stuff with lots of people. Like I'm doing stuff for Umdar with Evil Hat, and our Pathfinder thing should be coming out soon, Jay.
Yes.
In, like next month, I think.
I'm looking forward to that.
Drawing a blank on the name. Wow. Oh, Mwangi Expanse. Yeah, that's the word.
Yes.
Nice.
So,
what did you all write in it?
So I wrote about the town that is near the largest magic college in the Mwangi Expanse. It's kind of an homage to Venice via I'm drawing a blank on the name of the civilization that got lost being quote in that actually existed in Africa that had wonderful canals and stuff, and so it kind of had that Venetian feel, but was still
nice.
So it was fun to do and to research and like find all these little tidbits to bring in and do. And the art is just amazing. I'm so
it is amazing. Oh my goodness.
It's so pretty. So yeah, that was fun.
Cool. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. And we will be back. I don't know if it'll be in 2 weeks, but it'll be soon, where we're going to figure out what we're going to play next and pick up our Saturday slot and play some more games. So thank you all for joining us, and I will see you at the next game. Thanks, folks.